Hello, welcome to the channel. Today I bring a topic that is both challenging and full of hope. The development of vaccines against Alzheimer's. Have you ever stopped to think about the impact that a vaccine like this could have on millions of lives around the world? Alzheimer's, one of the main causes of dementia, still has no cure, but science is making great strides to change that. And it's this promising research that I am going to talk about in this video. So, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave your like. Let's explore this future full of new possibilities. Before we get into vaccines, it's important to understand what Alzheimer's is and why it is so challenging. Alzheimer's is a progressive neurodegenerative disease that affects millions of people around the world. It is characterized by the accumulation of two toxic substances in the brain: beta-amyloid, which forms plaques between neurons, and tau, which accumulates inside nerve cells, forming so-called neurofibrillar tangles. Over time, these changes lead to the loss of connections between neurons, causing memory problems, mental confusion, behavioral changes, and, eventually, the loss of vital functions. Currently, more than 55 million people are living with dementia, and this number is rising rapidly. In addition to its impact on patients' lives, Alzheimer's also profoundly affects families and healthcare systems. Therefore, finding ways to prevent or treat this disease is a global priority. Now that you understand the problem, let's talk about the solutions. Vaccines against Alzheimer's? Yes, they exist, and the idea behind them is fascinating. There are two main approaches being studied. Active immunotherapy. In this case, the vaccine stimulates the patient's own immune system to produce antibodies against beta-amyloid or tau proteins. In other words, the vaccine teaches the body to identify and fight these toxic substances. Passive immunotherapy. Here, antibodies are administered directly to the patient. This approach is more immediate, but is often more expensive and requires regular applications. One of the most promising vaccines is developed by the startup AC Immune. It is being tested in humans and could enter phase 3 testing by 2026. This means that we may soon have an effective and safe vaccine. But it's not just that. Studies also show that routine vaccines, such as those against tetanus, shingles, and pneumonia, can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's by up to 30%. This suggests that strengthening the immune system in general is an effective strategy for preventing neurodegenerative diseases. Now, think with me. How can these vaccines transform our relationship with aging? Alzheimer's is one of the main causes of loss of quality of life in old age. An effective vaccine would not only increase life expectancy, but would ensure that these people live longer lives with autonomy and dignity. Furthermore, preventing Alzheimer's would also reduce the burden on healthcare systems and caregivers. We're talking about an immense positive social and economic impact. And we cannot forget that Alzheimer's is a disease that does not just affect the person diagnosed. It is a family disease that changes the lives of children, grandchildren, and caregivers. Therefore, advances like these benefit society as a whole. The road to a widely available vaccine is still long. Vaccines are at different stages of development, and each of them must undergo rigorous testing to ensure their effectiveness and safety. Additionally, large-scale distribution will also be a challenge. However, it is incredible to see how quickly science has advanced. With the support of governments, research institutions, and private investment, we are increasingly closer to transforming Alzheimer's from a devastating disease into something preventable. I hope you enjoyed this dive into the future of Alzheimer's prevention. Vaccines that once seemed like a distant dream are becoming a tangible reality, and that is a reason for hope for all of us. If you find this type of content relevant, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. Leave your comment below. What do you think of these vaccines? Will science be able to defeat Alzheimer's? Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.